We don't understand this ex. They may just be over that part of their life, or perhaps they were really hurt by the breakup. This is the ex who is remembered for years and years. What type of ex are you? Or what type of ex is your ex? Are we talking totally chill, a little bit crazy, wanting to be friends? Let's find out. When dealing with a breakup, people do not all act the same. Sometimes it depends on the person or the situation, but some people have huge reactions while other people don't really say or do anything. And this all comes down to different people, different personalities, life experiences, relationship perspectives. But another big part of this is what stage of the breakup is the person in. There are different phases that a person goes through when they're an ex, dealing with a breakup. So your ex's behavior may change over time depending on what part of the breakup you're going through. Almost identical to the stages of grief, there are 5 stages of a breakup. We have denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. So somebody that's in the denial phase of a breakup is not going to act the same as somebody who's in the acceptance phase. So what do these phases mean? In the denial phase, a person is having trouble adjusting to their new normal. They don't believe that the relationship is truly over. They might refuse to accept that a breakup has happened. And it might not be so extreme. It might just be somebody thinking that, hey, this isn't really going to last. We're going to get back together. However, this might play out a little bit differently. This might play out as somebody who is denying that they care at all. They might act indifferent towards the experience and the breakup, indifferent towards their ex. They might be totally numb towards the situation. And really, they're avoiding the process of grieving the relationship. In the anger phase, there is, of course, anger. You guessed it. This could be towards their former partner, towards themselves, towards a different person that they blame for ending the relationship, towards the situation, or just anger that the relationship didn't play out the way that they had expected it to. Somebody in this phase might be resentful or bitter or make rash or impulsive decisions. They might even behave in a way that's unsafe or harmful. Just because somebody's in the anger phase doesn't mean that they are acting on it. It could just be an inner anger that they are feeling on a regular basis. In the bargaining phase, the person might try to figure out a way to get the relationship back. They might try to become friends with their ex or look to give the relationship another try. While this can be possible for some relationships, this kind of mindset can be harmful. The relationship may have been really toxic, or perhaps the person that they want to get back with really isn't interested in giving the relationship another try. This is also the phase, though, where a person might feel reflective. They might be pinpointing what the issues were in the relationship and why the relationship didn't work out. In the depression phase, there is sadness and grief over the relationship ending. It can be hard to move on during this phase. A person might lament over why the relationship didn't work or why their former partner didn't stay with them. They might feel badly about themselves and the future of their love life, and they could even partake in harmful or destructive behavior, typically towards themselves. In the acceptance phase, a person may or may not have moved on from their ex, but they're accepting that the relationship is over. And if they haven't moved on yet, they're looking to head in that direction. Traditionally, somebody would go through these phases in order, but typically most people skip around. Certain phases may be skipped altogether, or some may be repeated. You might go out of order, going from depression first, and then anger, bargaining, denial, then acceptance. But I thought understanding the different stages of a breakup will be helpful in understanding the different types of exes. Some exes just can't be helped. It doesn't matter what phase they're in, they're just going to be a little bit out there. Also, before we jump in, I'm going to be saying the words former partner very regularly, so we might just refer to it as FP, okay? The angry, bitter ex. This ex is pissed about something. Maybe they're mad at their former partner. Maybe they're just mad that the relationship didn't work out. Maybe they're mad at the world, but they might say cruel things, go out of their way to make their ex miserable, and just overall attempt to make them unhappy. They're mad, and their former partner's gonna know it. The sad ex. This ex is just sad. We've all been there. I mean, I have. I'm gonna admit it. I've been the sad ex. Likely in the depression phase of a breakup, this ex is having a very hard time moving on. They can be annoying, but it's not in a mean way. Typically the sad ex, they might reach out to their former partner for support or hope that the relationship can still work. Sometimes it can, though. The dodged a bullet ex. For whatever reason, this ex is happy to be done with their FP. They have no interest in being in their life, and they feel very relieved that the relationship is over. I think we've all been there too. The ex who wants to be friends, who wants to be friends. Key word there, wants. This is their ex that makes it their mission to stay in their former partner's life. They want to be friends with them, but this ex isn't aware of the fact that a friendship isn't an option that's on the table, or if they are aware of the fact, they just don't care. They'll try to keep things cool, joke around, show up, but it's unwanted. Speaking of unwanted, we have the stalker ex. This ex will keep tabs on everything involved in their former partner's life. They may just do it online, keeping an eye on their ex's social media, maybe because they still want their ex, maybe for other reasons. Maybe they just want to know that their ex is happy, or maybe they want to know that their ex isn't happy and they want to feel like they're doing better than their ex. Real nice. Most of the time, this ex isn't particularly harmful unless they become a serious stalker and they start to creep on their former partner's life a little too hard. Following them around town, figuring out who they're dating, hacking into their phone, like becoming seriously creepy. And then, yeah, that's not good. Also not good is the crazy ex. Not necessarily dangerous, though many times they can be a little bit dangerous or very dangerous. But this ex can't seem to let their former partner out of their lives. And they're always finding ways to be part of their FP's world. Like just crazy, wild ways that really aren't necessary and are usually unwanted. Want more information about breakups, relationships, love? Check out audiobooks.com. Audiobooks.com has tons of audiobooks available, including ones on the topics of astrology, love, relationships, breakups. If you want to try them out, check the link in my description box down below to get a free trial. With this trial, you will get 2 free audiobooks to give a try, so check it out now. The one-upper ex. This ex will go out of their way to let their former partner know that they are doing great. They may start dating someone else right away, and they make sure that their FP knows. They'll go out of their way to post on social media about how happy they are. Or they'll get into contact with their FP just to make sure that their former partner knows how great their life is without their former partner in it. So there. And if anything good happens to their FP, they will make sure to broadcast something even better happening to them. So here's one I'm assuming we all like. The respectful ex. This ex may not be over their FP, but they're still respectful about it, as they should be. They keep their distance, respect their FP's space, and maintain boundaries. Great. The ex who is actually your friend, and this is similar but not at all the same as the one we mentioned earlier as the ex that wants to be your friend. So the ex who actually is your friend. This is the ex who maybe the romance just wasn't there. This ex is actually friends with their FP, and both people are in agreement that for whatever reason the relationship is better off as platonic. The ex who stays overly involved in your life. This ex stays friends with all their FP's friends. Text their FP's mom, hang out with their FP's sister. Sure, there's some relationships that are formed when a romantic relationship happens, and when the romantic relationship ends, it doesn't mean that the other friendships and things like that have to end as well. I get that. But this ex will go overboard in making sure that they are still a part of their ex's life, and they make it seem like it's casual, it's chill, like it's totally natural. It's not natural. They just make their FP's life their business. You know, they insist on staying in contact. They always have to know what their FP is up to. Annoying. So here's kind of the opposite of that, the ghost ex. This ex completely disappears. They may just be over that part of their life, or perhaps they were really hurt by the breakup, but for whatever reason, they just completely detach, and maybe they want nothing to do with that person again, or they just can't have anything to do with that person again because it's too hurtful, or the relationship wasn't that important to them, so it's kind of just like forgotten. And on that note, we have the who? Ex. Who are we talking about? This ex may ghost, or they may just be ignored. They're forgotten about over time, and they typically don't make much of a fuss when the breakup happens. It's that ex that maybe you're that ex for somebody, or somebody's that ex for you. You're just kind of like, wait, I dated them? The ex that checks in. This ex will occasionally check in. They aren't a friend and they aren't a stalker. But every so often they'll send a message to just see how their former partner's doing. They might even ask to grab coffee. This ex may just be curious, or maybe they're looking for a hookup, or maybe they're trying to look for a casual way to rekindle the relationship. The holiday ex. Somewhat similar to the ex that checks in, this ex is only to be heard from on major holidays. Nobody really knows why, but on the holidays they feel compelled to let you know that they're still alive. They may even send a holiday greeting or a gift. That's when it gets weird. The casual ex. This ex never had an issue with the breakup. They aren't a friend, they may also be respectful, but usually this ex is not into holding on to any feelings for their FP. They might run into their FP from time to time, but it's no big deal. The braggy ex, similar to the one-upper ex, but not quite as intense. This is the ex that pops in just to let you know certain things. Nothing you asked for, nothing you needed to know, but they pop in to let you know. They may tell you they've bought a house, gotten a great new job. They will definitely take an opportunity to send a picture of their hot new partner. They aren't always looking to show off, and their updates are usually sporadic and only every so often. But when they have something good going on, they feel the need to tell you. The ex with benefits. This is the ex that is still hooking up with their FP. Every so often, or maybe a little bit too often, they get together to hook up. There may be no feelings, maybe both people agree that the hookups are just good and they enjoy it, but more likely than not, there's probably feelings entangled here, at least on somebody's end, but shh. Nobody's talking about that with this ex. The ex you feel bad for. This is not the sad ex, this is different. This is the ex that you messed up with, or if we're talking about your ex, they feel this way about you. But you may feel you hurt your former partner in some way, and typically whoever this person is, they feel terrible about doing that. They may check in with their former partner from time to time, and there's typically some guilt associated with the end of this relationship. There also could be a feeling of wishing that the relationship had worked out if they hadn't have messed this up. The ex that sends a wedding invite. We don't understand this ex. No, this ex does not fall under the category of friend. But for some outlandish reason, they feel the need to send their FP an invite to their wedding. Is it an attempt to make them jealous? Possibly. We can't be sure, but all I know is that it's weird. The ex who got away. This is the ex who is remembered for years and years. The ex who is often wondered about and thought about what could have been. Maybe you are this ex or you have one of these exes, but this is a type of ex that is really hard to heal from. If you are this ex, the person that got away, then you're going to be probably hearing from your former partner throughout the years, or at the very least, you will always be on their mind. And if this is your ex, this is the one that is really hard to forget about, the one that brings the most pain, the one that you always wonder, what if? The forever connected ex. This ex happens when both exes are the ones that got away to each other. Maybe it's not acknowledged, it most likely isn't, but they forever feel a connection to one another and often touch base with one another throughout the years. Sometimes these types of exes try again to have a relationship, and sometimes it works out. Or neither one of them acknowledges their feelings and they just keep going on through life. Make sure you keep an eye out for my shorts this week because I'm going to be posting the most popular types of exes. If you want more information about relationships, make sure you check out this video. This will tell you how to know if somebody is interested in you. And as always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day or night.